Donald Trump's health is collapsing before our eyes. His mental and physical health is rapidly deteriorating, and it is impacting our troops. Our troops are having some of the lowest morale yet. They are unclear what any of the objectives are in Donald Trump's deranged and unlawful war against Iran. And as Donald Trump frantically makes up fake conversations with Iran that aren't taking place, or when he refers to the leader of Iran's parliament, Ghalibaf, as being a, quote, hot option, as though this was some sicko game of apprentice, a hot option to work with Donald Trump to seize the Strait of. While the parliament leader in Iran, Ghalibaf, is like, what the hell are you talking about? You're part of the Epstein class. Our troops are deeply worried. Now, Huffington Post and others are reporting about the very low morale of our troops. Troops in the Iran conflict, especially those who are heading to Iran right now. Thousands of troops, Marine Expeditionary Units, some who have been sent on the USS Tripoli from Japan. Others who are making their way from San Diego and other locations are citing massive stress, safety concerns, unclear goals, lack of planning, Donald Trump being all over the place. Why are we going there? What are we even doing there? What the hell is Donald Trump saying now? When Donald Trump was in Tennessee yesterday, it was a really scary thing to watch. Donald Trump kept on talking about Elvis. He visited Graceland, Elvis's home, and Donald Trump thought that Elvis was still alive. It appeared yesterday throughout this event that Donald Trump held in Tennessee, he made the National Guard military police sit there and basically be extras in his speech that was not well attended. And he made the military police clap for him. It was quite embarrassing. Donald Trump was like sleeping through this entire event. It was very strange to see. For example, when Pam Bondi was speaking, Donald Trump just completely fell asleep. It looked like he was collapsing. I'll show you what went down so you can see this physical and mental deterioration before your eyes. Let's play it. Our U.S. Attorney, Mike Dunavant, was out there. And not only this, everyone needs to know we met with this president multiple times about this endeavor. The president knew what was going on here. The president cared. People like Alice Johnson. Now, Donald Trump visited Graceland. As I said, Elvis's home. Donald Trump seemed to forget that Elvis is dead. And Donald Trump said, would you help out Elvis? Elvis gets a little pass here. Can our great Attorney General help out Elvis? Here, play this clip. See all these people? These are the biggest people in the country. As our Attorney General, in case you get in trouble, would you help out Elvis? Elvis. Maybe I guess a little bit of a pass. Not much. We're not allowed to give much of a pass. I've never been here, no. And I'm a big fan of Elvis. Who isn't? But I think he's great. I think his music is incredible. Then Donald Trump talked about how he never met Elvis, but he met them all. I knew them all. I never met Elvis. Sometimes I feel I should tell a little fib that I knew him. I love Elvis. I love him. I should say I met him. I never met him. This is what Donald Trump was saying yesterday at his speech while our troops are headed to Iran for a possible ground invasion. Last night, the United States and Israel struck energy facilities in Iran, to which Iran retaliated very quickly, striking energy facilities in Kuwait, making a blackout there. To which Iran's military spokesperson said, basically, we're unleashing hell across this region right now, as Saudi Arabia says it's about to join this war. This was what Donald Trump was saying. I never met Elvis. I met them all. Play this clip. Do you know I'm going to see Graceland after this? I think. Is that right? I love Elvis. I never met Elvis. Everyone said, did you? I met them all. I met Sinatra. I knew all of them. I never met Elvis. Sometimes I feel I should tell the little fibs that I knew him well. I love Elvis, but I never met him. But I'm going to go see Graceland after this. I'm sure it's not going to be a very long stay, folks. Even Stephen Miller was looking at Donald Trump and saying he was exasperated hearing Donald Trump blabber on about Iran. Watch Stephen Miller play this clip. Iran's missile capabilities were also growing so fast that it would soon have become virtually impossible to stop them once they have a missile on what they were building. Then, during this event in Tennessee, Donald Trump continued to fall asleep. Let's play it. Offenses or deadly accidents. Our work, however, has not just been about arrests and the seizure of illegal firearms and narcotics. Once inside Graceland, because Trump was speaking at that event in front of the National Guard military police. Then he was in Graceland, and Donald Trump kept on saying, I loved Chicago. I'd love to go to Chicago. I love to be invited to Chicago. Chicago. The Democrats don't want to do that. I love San Francisco. San Francisco. I'd love to go to San Francisco. We'd bring it back. We'd bring it back. Dude, what are you talking about? What is going on before our eyes? This person can't put together sentences. Play this clip. Frank, I'd love to go to Chicago. I'd love to be invited to Chicago. We would get rid of crime in Chicago very easily, but the Democrats don't want to do that. I'd love to go to San Francisco. Would make it something. Would bring it back to where it was. And the mayor's working hard. He's a Democrat. He's working hard there. And just look at him. Look at him. Look at him. This is when he entered Graceland. We love Elvis. Who doesn't love Elvis? Everybody loves Elvis. Right. Right. What in the demented world are we watching here? Play this clip. Who doesn't love Elvis? Everybody loves Elvis, right? Hello. Hello. Hi. Welcome to the second most busy product in America. Wow. Your house is number one. Pretty good too, right? And again, you Donald Trump saying things like, we never realized Iran would go after the Arab nation neighbors with American military bases. Nobody ever knew that. Everybody knew that. I knew that. No offense to me, but if I knew that several months ago, you with all of the intelligence that's out there, you should have known that. Here, play this clip. We did it quicker. Iran's missile capabilities were also growing so fast that it would soon have become virtually impossible to stop them once they have a missile. Once they have what they were building was incredible. Well, and you got a little glimpse of it by the fact that when they came out, they started shooting all of their neighbors. Their neighbors weren't fighting with them. They were getting along okay with their neighbors. And I was surprised. Everybody was surprised. And it actually worked in reverse, because their neighbors then turned against them. And then Donald Trump started ranting and raving about the sound system that was there. The sound system's so good here. Actually, the sound was not good, but he wanted to let everyone know that he thought the sound was good. Here, play this clip. Thank you. Wow, that was a nice place with the best sound system. I don't know. And then he goes, I love Tennessee. You know what? A relationship with Tennessee is a lot safer than a relationship with other things. I can tell you as a politician. What are you referring to a sexual relationship with T? What the hell are you saying, you sicko? Here, play this clip. So I happen to like the state. I love Tennessee. Maybe someday I'll move to Tennessee. I might have to move. No, I love it. You never know what that is. You know, you just have a relationship with the state. It's a lot safer than relationships with other things. I can tell you as a politician. Then he just starts talking about transgender mutilization. What? What are you saying? Right. Donald Trump's like, we don't want to let the Democrats fund the TSA until they stop transgender, sports, mutilization, penis, vagina. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? Get serious. Behave like an adult. Stop bullying marginalized communities. Speak clearly to the American people. And for God's sake, someone invoke the 25th Amendment, please, because this is deeply disturbing. I'm just showing you what went down in the past 24 hours. Here, play this clip. They say they're 80-20 items. They're not 80-20. They're 991. Men playing in women's sports is a 991. You look at transgender mutilization of our children, that's a 991. And we have that in the bill too. Then when he was in Graceland, where he signed the replica guitar, and he's just like walking around. Just watch what happens here. Here, play this clip. Like a gold Visa, yeah. And then this is his bedside phone. It actually is gold-plated. I would like to hear some of those conversations. Right. Well, as you can see, they would like to hear that. It's very well worn. Oh yeah. And this. It's been through the ringer. It has its little dings on it. But then this is actually the belt that Elvis got for shattering all the city's attendant records in Las Vegas. The BB buckle has sterling silver with diamonds, rubies, and sapphires in it. And he most notably wore this not only on and off stage, but he wore it in the Oval Office when he met President Nixon. Oh, it's a very famous visit. Yep. And this guitar that you see here, this is actually a replica of a guitar that Elvis used in his 1973 Aloha from Hawaii concert. And I was wanting to know if you would sign it for us, for the archives. Wow. So you can sit here if you like. A big honor. Yeah, this will be for the archives. Sure, there we go. There's a marker. Okay, where do you want me to sign it here? You can sign it right here if you like. There you go. Great. And then Donald Trump's like, we're not at war. This is a military operation. A military operation? Here, play this clip. Period. That they call a war. They call it a war. We call it a military operation. Brett here, and I've got an important report to share that relates to this war, our planet, and our future. So let me interrupt for a quick minute. As we're watching this escalating war with Iran, with oil prices surging, the Strait of Hormuz becoming a global choke point, and energy markets driving geopolitical decisions, there's a bigger picture that doesn't get talked about enough. and that's this. The very thing fueling these conflicts is fossil fuels. According to a new report highlighted by ABC News, experts are increasingly saying that a global shift to renewable energy, things like wind, solar, geothermal, could actually reduce the likelihood of war. Why? Well, because, unlike oil, renewable energy isn't concentrated in a few regions that countries fight over. You can generate it almost anywhere. Think about what we're seeing right now. Iran has leverage in this war in large part because of its oil. The Strait of Hormuz matters because 20% of the world's oil flows through it. That creates vulnerability. That creates tension. That creates war incentives. But solar panels, wind farms, those don't create the same kind of geopolitical choke points. And here's where it gets even more relevant. While experts are saying renewable energy could actually lead to less conflict globally, what are Trump officials reportedly doing? Well, they're considering paying nearly $1 billion to shut down offshore wind projects that could power hundreds of thousands, even millions of homes, and instead pushing more investment into fossil fuels. At a moment when this war is literally showing us the dangers of relying on oil, the policy response is to double down on it. Experts quoted in the report pointed out something really striking, that historically, oil has been tied directly to major conflicts, from World War II to the Gulf War to today. Meanwhile, renewable energy sources have never once sparked a major international war. That doesn't mean the transition is perfect. There are still challenges, of course, like sourcing materials for batteries, but the overall trajectory points towards something important. A world less dependent on fossil fuels is a world with fewer incentives for these kind of conflicts. And look, nobody is saying switching to renewables will magically end all wars. But when energy isn't a weapon, when it's decentralized, when it's abundant, that changes the equation. So as we watch this war unfold, it's worth asking, are we learning the lesson here or ignoring it? Let me know what you think. Leave a comment with your thoughts on this, on clean energy, on Trump's doubling down on fossil fuels. Get loud. Now is the time. We need to hear from you, and I'm going to be reading all of your comments. Okay, Ben, back to you. Now, just if you take a look at some of his conduct as well, I mean, you've got Iran mocking his behavior, right? Remember Donald Trump yesterday is like, he was asked, he goes, so how are you going to run the Strait of Hormuz? Like, how are you going to do it? Like, what's the game plan, Donald? Me and the Ayatollah are going to do it together. You're going to create a joint venture agreement with the Ayatollah? What are you talking? You and the Ayatollah side by side. Donald and the Ayatollah. Like, do we realize how demented the things this human being is saying? To which the Iranians mocked it, and they showed a photograph in one of their embassies. The Iranians showed a photograph of a car. And you know how like the baby has their baby wheel? Or like the little kid has their version of the wheel in the passenger side next to where the parent's driving? Iran in their South Africa embassy post goes, the Strait of Hormuz will be controlled by me and the Ayatollah. They're mocking Trump. And by the way, here's what Donald Trump said. Play this clip. What about the Strait of Hormuz? Who's going to be in control of that? That'll be open very soon if this works. How soon? And who's in control of it? Will I still be able to control the flow of oil, be jointly controlled? By who? Maybe me. Maybe me. You want the United States? Me and the Ayatollah. Whoever the Ayatollah is. Whoever the next Ayatollah. Look, and there'll also be a form of a very serious form of a regime change. Now, in all fairness, everybody's been killed from the regime. And folks, it's so pathetic. You have Donald Trump and his regime calling up, begging for Iran to have discussions with the United States. When Iran's like, we don't trust you. We don't want to have any conversations. You keep on making up that there's negotiations, and then you keep on striking us. I mean, last night, the United States and Israel struck energy facilities in Iran after saying that they were not going to do it. Everything they do, you know, has this implication. And here is where Donald Trump refers to MB Galaba, the parliament leader, as hot. He's a hot one. He's a hot option. White House eyes Iran's parliament speaker as a potential US-backed leader scoop. The Trump administration is quietly weighing Iran's parliament speaker as a potential partner and even future leader as it looks for a diplomatic endgame. An administration official tells me, Dasha Burns, who's at Politico, he's a hot option, but says they're still testing multiple candidates. He's a hot option. What are you idiots talking about? The guy who said Iranian people demand complete and remorseful punishment of the aggressors. All Iranian officials stand firmly behind their supreme leader and people until this goal is achieved. No negotiations have been held with us, and fake news is used to manipulate the financial and oil markets and escape the quagmire in which US and Israel are trapped. Iran is fighting for humanity. The world is either with Gaza and against this colonial terror regime, or it stands with the Epstein class and child torturers. There is no middle ground. Hashtag Gaza genocide. This is the hot option. Again, our troops right now are being sent to Iran for a possible ground invasion. Thousands of troops aboard the USS Tripoli Marine Expeditionary Unit. Thousands of troops in Fort Bragg from the 82nd Airborne, including our elite paratroopers. Additional troops from the USS Boxer and other ships from San Diego. Thousands and thousands of ships staggered deploying into Iran. And Donald Trump's out there calling GB Ghalibah the very extreme leader of Iran's parliament, who does not want anything but ultimate surrender from US and Israel and full control of the Strait of Hormuz, a hot option. And as we're in this energy crisis, Donald Trump and his regime are paying a French company $1 billion in our taxpayer funds to not build wind farms. They've announced that it will pay $1 billion to the French energy giant Total Energy in exchange for the company abandoning its plans to build offshore wind farms in the Atlantic Ocean, which employed thousands of people, which would be helpful to our energy needs right now. Folks, as I said, Donald Trump's mental and physical collapse is having real-world implications. But I'll leave you with this because I know a lot of you feel the same way as me. We know he's mentally and physically deteriorating. But also, we don't want that to be a crutch that he relies on one day to say, "Oh, I was mentally incapacitated when I did all of this," right? When he pleads insanity one day or whatever he's going to do one day. I mean, I don't know how you watch the videos I just shared with you and believe that what I just shared with you is normal. I mean, go back and watch what I just showed you. This is some of the most abnormal things. So I think we can recognize he's a malignant narcissist, malicious tumor upon our country, and also recognize, irrespective of that, well, regardless of the mental deterioration, he's still a despicable, dastardly person. And I showed you, I think, the receipts. So you tell me what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million. Thanks for watching. Love this video. Support independent media and unlock exclusive content. Add free videos and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.